Hey everyone, it's Jem here. I hope you are having an amazing day. I have just gotten back from NAMM 2026 in Anaheim, California, and what an absolute joy it was. It was so fun to reconnect with all my friends from all around the world, reconnect with the companies who endorsed me, and even meet some of them for the first time in person. And this NAMM, I even got to do my first ever demonstration. That's right. I gave a demonstration of the Line 6 Helix Stadium at the Line 6 Yamaha booth. And I gave a bit of a breakdown of a certain preset that I used and how, when you get your effects right and the amplifier sounding right, you can use one preset in so many different genres of music. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I get a great tone out of the Line 6 Helix Stadium with just one preset that does so many different kinds of music. Check it out.
Hello, check. Hey! We are on. Well, good day everybody. Welcome to NAMM 2026. How's everyone feeling today? Can we give it up for Yamaha Line 6 and to each and every one of you who are here today. For those that don't know me, my name is Jem. I am a session tour musician, a music producer, a music director, and a content creator. All the way from Sydney, Australia, but living here now in the United States of America. God bless America. Also, can we give a huge shout out for all the people who have worked hard on these amazing products? So everyone from Line 6, including like this guy, Ben Adrian over here. Give him a hand. So what I'm going to be doing today is doing a little bit of a tone demonstration for the brand new Line 6 Helix Stadium. Shout outs to all the people who worked hard on the Helix Stadium. It is a phenomenal unit, and what I am going to show you guys is just how amazing it is and how easy it is to work around the unit with the new touch screen. Show you guys how awesome the Agoura amps are, and also just show you how, with the last 7 or 8 years now that I've been using the Line 6 Helix, I'll show you guys a bit of concept of what I have figured out to get you the quickest and easiest and best tone that you can get out of your unit without doing so much work. Right now I've got a preset with just with some basic tones that I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you guys some sounds that will go from lower gain tones, medium gain tones, to more rock and solos and nice modulated sounds, and show you guys how I got there. And hopefully this gives you inspiration to work with your Helix Stadium or whatever model that it is that you use. So see if I'm on. Oh yeah, we are on. We're on, baby. Alright. So let's just create a little loop and I'll show you guys some sounds that go from like low gain, medium gain, high gain, and all these things in between. Let's get to it, shall we? Here we go. So basic tone kind of like that. So let me break it down to you. How did I get that sound? What is my thought process when it comes to creating a preset to achieve sounds like that? I can go from low gain, medium gain, high gain tones, and something that can work for any kind of genre or however it is that you play. So I'm going to throw the Stadium on this music stand. We're going to have a camera that's going to point to it, and let's break it down. Thank you, Sam. Everyone give it up to Sam. He's been running sound for this whole thing. He's doing a phenomenal job. Alright, so we can see that what we've got here. We have this preset that I've called Agoura AC30. And every time I create a preset, I always like to start with my chord tone first. For a lot of you audio engineers out here, the main thing that they always say when it comes to creating a great sound, whatever it is, whether it's vocals or your guitar, it's always you got to make sure you get it right at the source, because even if you don't get it right at the source, no matter how much mixing that you do, it's not going to sound right. So what I like to do, and my hack that every time I have made a preset on my Helix, or any modeler, but primarily the Helix, is I choose an amp that I like. In this case, look at this, focus mode, new feature. So good with the touchscreen. For example, I like an AC30, usually my go-to amp. For those who play at church, you'll know why. It's got this really nice chime to it, but also it's got a really nice attack when it breaks up. But my hack when it comes to using the Helix is I like to double cab everything, and not just double cab anything with trying to match a cab that I'm using when I'm using in real life. What I've realized when I'm using amp modeling and using it like in the world of digital, that if I try to recreate the sound what I'm going for, if I had the amp next to me with whatever cab, whatever speaker I'm using, I've found that I don't think I'll be getting the sound that I'm actually going for, unless you really want to try to be as accurate as you can. My mindset is, how can I make this thing sound as best as possible within the unit itself? So I found that using two 412 cabinets mic'd up with whatever mics sound good with the amp is the hack that I've been using. So whenever I'm playing clean, it's got this nice fatness to it, but without it being too overall bassy. So in this case, I've got a greenback 25 and a greenback 20, one mic'd with like a Coles 4038 and something like a 121 ribbon. So if I can get the cabinet sound right, nice and fat, nice and chewy, it helps things a lot. And when it comes to tweaking my amp sound, I've found that this focus view really helps me dial in the sound so quickly, especially with the new Agoura amps. Like if I just want to get a more thicker sound, so. And then adjust it from there. I realize that's a little too much drive for me, but that's a good starting point for me. And if I can just dial back down the drive. That's kind of more the ballpark that I'm going for. So, we got my amp sound kind of dialed in that way. And 2 cabs. Even if I'm running dual amps, I like to use my other amp with 2 412 cabs as well. And I haven't used an IR in like 5 years because the cabs that are in the Line 6 units are just so good, well, in my opinion. And they sound and feel really darn realistic to me. So that is my bass tone right there. It's nice and clean, but if I hit it hard enough, it'll break up just enough. That's just by attacking my strings a little harder. Now the next hack that I've found is whenever I'm also making a preset, I like to mimic my actual pedal board. And what I really liked in my pedal boards is running a really transparent compressor at a 4:1 ratio, as you can see there, and the mix at 50% on a really fast attack and a release that's a little longer. And in this case, I really like the deluxe comp that's in the Helix. I don't know why, but it's the one that's resonated with me the most. And I don't like compression when it's like squashing your notes. What I want it to do is I love when it just gives me a bit more of a boost in my signal, but I also love the way that the attack it gives me and the note separation when I'm playing chords. So without it on, right? And here it is on. Now I can play with my dynamics a little more because it's pushing my amp a little harder, and it's making it break up in a way where it's a little more natural instead of using pedal drive. So all I have right now is amp and compressor, and first of all let me tune it up. How awesome is this new tuner, by the way? This tuner is so nice. It is really accurate. It's really big, which is great. I love a big tuner. Helps you to stay in tune even more. So once again, here's my tune without the compressor, or the specific compressor. And with the compressor on, yeah. Now it's pushing my amp a little too much, so I'll back down on my drive a little more. So if I'm playing like this. And even if I'm playing country stuff, it can give me that squashiness as well, just with the attack of my hands, you know. And that's just with the compressor at 50%. Now what that also does is when I put my overdrives on, there's a lot of people who don't like using overdrives with the compressor on, because usually with compressors, when you have it on with overdrive, it just crumbles apart. But my goodness, with this, I can keep my compressor on and my drives on, kind of like, because it's using parallel compression, and the attack and the transits of my drives stay nice and quick, but it doesn't crumble. here's the compressor off. And with the compressor on. Stays nice and taut, but it keeps everything tied up, and my note separation even clearer. So when I'm playing chords that are overdriven, it's nice. So my levels of gain are pretty simple. I always like my first gain stage kind of natural, like pushing my amp a little bit, and doesn't change the mid-range character of my overdrive. So if this is my clean sound, here's my first stage of gain. Just there. And a lot of time I'll leave that on because if I back down on my volume, nice and clean that way, but if I bring up the volume just a little bit, bridge pickup. Stays that nice and clean that way. And then my next stage of gain is I like using the air apparent. I don't usually like it. If I can say King of Tone in person, here it is. I don't like using a King of Tone actually, but I really like what Line 6 has done with the King of Tone here. I think it sounds better than the real pedal itself. I love the mid-range character it gives me. It just gives me that a bit of a boost, not like a tube screamer, but it gives my amp a bit more of that punch. It's nice and meaty, but not so overly compressed and not so honky in the mid-range. So that's my second stage of gain. Third stage of gain, I'll skip this one for now, but usually it would be actually the two screamer as next. So usually my main three stages of gain are gain 1, amp-like, gain 2, a bit of a mid-range boost, and gain 3, two screamer, because I like what the two screamer does when I do solos. So without it, and with it on, gives me that sustain, and if I'm playing fast, it gives me that pseudo Marshall-esque kind of punch. So I kind of like using these in tandem when I'm going for like a thicker solo. And listen to that Agoura amp, like it's so realistic to the response in your hands. So that's kind of my 3 levels of gain, plus a boost. I love using the kinky boost on the Helix. I think it's fantastic. It gives me that level boost without it affecting the tone of everything else. So that's my gain stages. What I also like to do afterwards of my gain is I like my modulations just nice and simple. In this case, I've got a a dimension chorus and a phaser, you know, because who doesn't like a phaser, you know? Or if you're a nice country guy, you know? Kind of lame, but pretty fun. And you know, my second modulation is the chorus. My favorite chorus in the whole Helix is the dimension chorus. And what I like to do with the dimension chorus is I actually like to throw all 4 switches on and bring down my mix at 40%. And when I did that at 40%, what I realized I still have the attack of my strings intact really nicely, all the transients is there. But then I get that nice chorusy thing going. And if I pair that with, you know, the delay. Oh, you know. Even if I use some gain on it, you know, it retains that 80s thing. I've got that whole 80s thing going on just with that one chorus. So that's super awesome. And I like to throw my chorus after my amp. So 80s rack style. So that's my modulation section. And then in my delay, my wet section, my time-based stuff, my delays and my reverbs, I like running 3 delays, not for the sake of being a delay hog, but because I like the way that 3 different delays, the voicings of 3 different delays depending on what I'm playing the sound. So my first delay is the greatest analog delay of all time, the Adriatic delay made by Ben Adrian himself, who's in this room. I always like to run this delay. Oh no, when I'm doing quarter note stuff, just a little bit of it. Just a little bit of that space to it. And what I love about that is even if I go a bit of gain on it, it doesn't get in the way of my notes. So quarter notes, I like using the Adriatic delay. And then the next delay I love using the vintage digital delay. I think line 6 has who has used the DL4 from back in the day? Anyone? Yeah, my gosh. The delay sounds from that are just so iconic that whenever line 6 does a delay, especially a digital delay, it's just so good. So you know, if you're doing like or if you're playing at church, you know, and you're doing stuff like this. Oh yeah. This classic delay. If you know, you know. I love it for when your delays are doing those dotted 8 things and you need that fast attack. And you know. The digital delay, the vintage digital is so good for that. And then my final delay is actually something that I always like keeping on most of the time. no matter what tempo I'm playing, is always the dual delay, because it doesn't get in the way of my picking, but you still get that kind of, because of that stereo effect that's going on. If I'm strumming, I still get that spaciousness with it. And even if I'm playing leads as well, it doesn't get in the way. Because that stereo spread on it is just so good. So that's my delay. Also, if I'm not using the Asiatic delay, I also like using the Elephant Man, that Memory Man on the Helix. It's absolutely fantastic. Just to give you guys a little quick demo of it, just because it's here, it's easy to tweak. There it is, Elephant Man. Hello. And you play that, you know. So sweet. And then final things are just like my reverb. I love using the dynamic hall. It's just so nice. You pair that with dual delay. And even with you know, a lower mix and a lower decay, that spaciousness that you get, it's just so nice. Pretty much just my core basis of how I craft my tone, because this can cover a lot of things. Like if I'm playing just, you know, like I said, funk, you know, or if I'm playing a pop tune, you know. If I'm playing blues, praise and worship. I have a whole range of sounds covered just under one amp, few drives, one modulation, different voices of delay, and an extra reverb for some extra sauce. And if, you know, with how much DSP is available, if I'm like, hang on, let me add a wah to my sound, I can totally do that. You know, you just throw something in there and just be like, well, let me get a wah or some sort of version of a wah. In this case, we'll get a, let's see, let's do a filter. Here, mutant filter. You know? play metal and you're like, I need to drop my tuning into something, and goodness gracious, polycape, and say, you know what, let me change my amp, just one amp, you know, you got the rev, be like, I need to tweak something quickly. You can do all that really quickly with the Stadium. The touchscreen is just so fluid, so responsive, and you can cover a whole lot of ground with just one cab, an amp, or whatever it is that you're trying to choose from. So, yeah, that's kind of a bit of my insight to tone creation. Super fun. Hope that was easy. Hope you had a fun time listening to some tones. And if you're interested in getting a Helix Stadium, go talk to these guys. It is the best thing ever. I love it. And yeah, enjoy yourselves and have an amazing day. And catch you guys soon. Give it up for everyone running NAMM. Give it up for Line 6 Yamaha. And give it up for yourselves. Have yourselves an amazing rest of the week. Peace out.
Thank you so much for taking this time on watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you learned a thing or two about how I tweak my tones on the Line 6 Helix Stadium, that you can apply it to your own one or to whatever modeler that you use. Once again, the basis is, 2 412 cabs in parallel. Tweak the mics a little bit, the EQ, the low cuts, the high cuts. Choose an amp that works for you. Get that all sorted, and I guarantee you, when you add your gains, your delays, your reverbs, modulations, you'll get a great tone every time. Trust your ears, not your eyes. That's the concept that I like to use all the time. If you want to get my Line 6 Helix, HX Stomp, and Podgo presets, they are available at multitracks.com. If you're interested in checking what I also do musically, and if you want to contact me, feel free to check out my website at www.jemmuelmusic.com. Till then, peace out, I'll see you soon, and God bless.